Wunam, aka Nicky Love, and this is
God, Kisalu, and y'all got me back for more than the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, you know what I mean? So I appreciate all the great responses and the positivity that everybody has been displaying about the book and then the shows that me and Ms. Nicky been doing. So tonight we just want to keep this thing consistent and get further into what you can expect from us and what you can actually gain from actually being around us.
all right. Also, too, family, get ready, cause y'all been hitting us up inbox, been texting us and hitting us up, and y'all ready for school, right?
Right. I want y'all ready for the school because I'm getting ready. I was just actually looking for the type of platform that we can engage each other and have real conversations without it being sensitive. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's what this knowledge and wisdom is about. The stuff that we're going to be talking about is going to try to be sensitive. That's why I really want to get a platform that allows us to speak. So if you want to say something that you want to say to me in a way that you want to say it, I want you to be able to say that whether you type that question, email that question, or say it verbally to me, you know? So that's just the hard part about it. I went through school, I haven't checked out Telegram and Discord, but I was advised to go check out those two. I did do school and then I went through Kajabi. So those are the two platforms right now I'm looking into, and I should have everything launched for you guys done tomorrow. As far as any curriculum and books and that go, that was already done. One of the only problem I had with that's been going on with books is that the printers don't seem to want to how to print it how I need to be printed with the information I need to be printed in it. So I had to just outsource the printing, which actually set it back maybe 5 to 7 days. So that's what I've been working on. But when you get into this group in this class, you will have everything that you need, and it will be provided for you.
Okay, all right. Now, you're gonna do the Zoom first, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay,
Yeah.
so the Zoom is gonna be.
Yeah, tomorrow I want to do a Zoom and everybody who bought the book, everybody who registered for the class and everything, I'm going to do a Zoom with you guys so we can have a one-on-one, we can have a discussion and we can get to know each other, and then you can just talk and ask me directly what you want to ask me. And also, with us doing this, I'm going to do this for the next 21 days. I'm going to be getting everybody together, rounding up, because after the 21 days starting August 6th to December 6th, we're going to run a 120-day plan. 120-day action plan to get everybody funded $100,000 or more.
Okay. Now, we're saying that, what do we need to tell the people? Do we need to have them email us or?
Anybody that actually bought the book, all you have to do is just email us so you can get this Zoom link tomorrow. Or, being honest, I might just go live and let everybody see what y'all are getting in the class so that they'll have an idea what to expect too. So that they won't have to worry about it just being isolated. And then the following day or so, we'll go private from that point on.
Okay, so you want to do Zoom live?
Yeah, I'm going to just go live, because I think I'm going to let everybody know what to expect. I'm going to have it written down so they can,
okay.
know what to do, what they're getting out of joining the community like ours.
Okay, all right, okay, so it'll be perfect. All right, so what we're going to do to family, tonight, we're going to take some live calls, okay? You ready for that?
Oh, I don't mind.
You
Yeah,
sure?
yeah. Y'all can call, y'all can tap in. I don't mind talking to y'all live. That's why I say we finna cross over the threshold that we're gonna do this on this Zoom and live. We finna get to know each other.
Okay.
I wanna create a community where we just gonna go get this, cause we're gonna create corporations that attack the bank.
Okay, all right.
You know?
All right, so, the other night we came on, y'all was looking for our brother. Y'all was looking for that information, which is a good thing, because it lets me know y'all serious about your change, your future, you know what I mean, finances and all that great stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and take some more questions tonight, because y'all sure come with the questions, and I love that. And also, we might let y'all come in live if y'all not afraid to talk, live. So we're gonna take some questions. Do you wanna just briefly touch with the people, what you do, how you doing it, what's going on? Because there's some new people in here. I see some new people.
I don't want to say that I'm a financial guru or anything like that. It wasn't like that. What made me a financial, I would say, master in my lane was that I made an amount of money, and Uncle Sam came after I made that money and said he was going to take that money because I was not privy to being taxed. I was going to end up being tax evasion. It was going to be frivolous filings. There was going to be tax evasion after tax delinquency. So Uncle Sam was the person that made me come and get my act together when it comes to taxes and structure and business. And then when he said he was my uncle, I got to know him better. I did not run away from him. You know what I'm saying? But I know taxes are voluntary. I know that a lot of people don't like taxes. And I think that's where the miscommunication is at. Because just because taxes are voluntary and everybody want to avoid them, I don't think you should be avoiding them. There are 2,100 tax forms. You don't have to know them. H&R Block and Jackson Hewitt know them. If your entity and classification structure is set up the right way, then they'll put everything that you got as for expenses itemized on these tax forms so you can live as a business expense. That's all Uncle Sam, he asked you for. He didn't ask you to, you made $1 million, creates corporations and trusts to hide the $1 million in. Because see, once the cash disappeared, then he got to create policy officers to come get the money from you in forms of fees and fines in the action of the default. I'm just trying to say, hey, we don't have to default over here. We don't mind paying taxes because it's just a tax form to put the taxes and expenses on. Whether I recoup them as a business expense or I get it back as a tax credit, or send the money back to the person that actually gave me some goods and services so they can get paid. But that's all this is about being taxed. And I'm just trying to get a group of people together so we can think together like this while I have the opportunity to be able to engage you guys. Because I don't do this. I never have mentorships. I never did. None of this except for drop the book. And now it's at a point where I think there are like-minded individuals out there just as I am. Right. And then there's a calling beacon to those who are like-minded. So what we're finna do is make sure that we resonate on the same level, put it on white paper with black ink, and then use that strategy against the corporations that have been keeping us enslaved for so long. It's not hard. I'm not asking you to join no temple. I'm not asking for you to sacrifice your children. I don't want to sleep with none of your women, brothers. Hey, bro, I just think that we can do it if we put our heads together and utilize the strategy of knowing what white paper, black ink is. What you got over there?
I'm just laughing because somebody by the name of David Woodard. Should I even say this? Yeah. Should I even say this? Free Puffy? Come on now. Come on now. I'm talking about Free Puffy. Free Puffy. Look here, don't get me started, y'all. Do not get me started. We're not trying to get up, but let me tell y'all. Kiss my ass with that bullshit right there. Because at the end of the day, y'all know Puffy did what he did with the girl. I'm going to just touch on that briefly. But you know what he did with the girl, but there's a lot more that Puffy did, so don't come up here with that bullshit.
It's all good. If you want to say free him. If you knew what I knew, and then you probably have noticed a fiduciary relationship, then you probably can get Puffy out of jail. You know what I mean? Because then it wouldn't be no jurisdiction over Puffy, you know what I mean? He having this thing. So if you want to come on over here in white paper, join our class, become a lawyer, I think you can go on there and get Puffy out. So all praises to you who want a free Puffy. I think Puffy would rather you to be a experienced legal aid to an advisor. So come on over here and get this white paper, black ink assimilation, and then going over there free Puffy. You're gonna be one of my examples, I promise you.
Okay. All right.
You're gonna be one of my examples.
All right.
Come over here and let me show you how to be a lawyer,
so y'all know how I feel about that. If he walks, he walks. But let me tell you something. If he walks, he walks. The ancestors are not playing with him because he did a lot. He heard a lot and he did a lot. So let me tell y'all this. Ancestors is not playing. Let him walk. As soon as he walks, they're coming after him.
Right. Now, what I want to tell you is, when it comes to it, is this. I think you don't have to tell nobody about freeing nobody, man. I think we need to put our own heads together because we're the destruction of our own people.
That's right.
Puffy, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, all these people, they only doing what they were doing because they was in environments where they saw it and it was acceptable until they wanted to do it on their own. So what we have to do is stop being involved in other people's business when you don't have land, airspace, and wealth of your own. And that's law, L-A-W, land, airspace, and wealth. You know what I'm saying? So why don't we just get together and become a working model of people that can actually act as corporations so that we can seek funding from lending institutions? All the stuff that they're doing and telling us about, those are distractions. Those are not actions. I don't know what anybody doing in the privacy of their home. I really don't care what they're doing in the privacy of the street. All I really care about is white paper, black ink, enslaving the rest of my generation until I pass and beyond that.
All right. Now, the question, for anybody who ordered the book, give us some time. They'll know how the post office is.
Yeah, but see, those who ordered the book too, we had such an influx of orders that we had ordered some books. So some people we have to get to and mail the books out when the order come in within probably like 6 or 7 days. So we just ordered some thousands of books for those to come in, and when those come in, those tracking numbers can be issued because then they'll be out. But anybody that order book, you probably will get an email confirmation from me, and I'm asking you to give me your number so that I can call you personally and let you know what the status is going on with the book, because you won't be left out.
Right.
And I apologize, but I appreciate your patience.
All right, there you have it. Just make sure y'all put your number and your emails in there.
Yeah.
Both.
Send me your phone number. Send me your phone number. I ain't worried about the email. Send me your phone number so that I can call you. I'll validate the email when I get on the phone with you. But just send a phone number so that we can chop it up and I can let you know exactly what's going on. Because nobody ain't gonna be left behind, and everybody's gonna get their book. And we done had some people get their book. So just be patient with me and allow the process to continue out.
All right, y'all. Let's move to the next question. Let's make that paper main.
Right.
Main.
Corporate paper, funding, finances, you know what I'm saying? See, on tax forms, we all know that on certain tax forms, it asks you who to pay. It asks for an accountant number and a round number on the tax forms when you get certain things like cars and houses. And on that tax form, you know who I put? I put the EIN and the round number and the bank account number of the person that I owe, such as the Mercedes-Benz dealership or Nation Main Mortgage. So when Uncle Sam do send that money back, it don't come to me. He give it back to them and they release the title and stuff like that to my corporation, which I keep in the trust in.
All right. Gratitude, just asked it, thank you, and I called no answer, but thank you, I'll DM you my number.
Right, that's all you have to do.
See, y'all don't want to listen to the lady. See, you don't want to listen. I just said email and number because you know what? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? At least you have both contacts.
Right. I ain't mad at that.
But he said he's going to DM you.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, it was just such an influx of orders that we had to order more books than what we had in inventory. And then that shipment is actually going to be here within 4 to 7 days.
Okay.
And anybody who ordered the book, don't worry about not having possession of the book to get into class, because we already going to handle that. That's why I say I want to talk to you, get your email, and then for the first 21 days after the first, we're going to be setting classroom protocol, giving y'all the curriculum and everything that needs to be downloaded, and then let you know about the benefits of being in the club.
As long as they got proof of purchase.
Yeah, proof of purchase. That's what I'm saying. That's what POP, proof of purchase. You see, I cannot reimburse you, man, if you don't have a POP. And a proof of purchase is you showing a receipt. So long as you keep receipt of everything, you're welcome into the category. That's like Uncle Sam say, we don't mind.
Okay. All right, there you have it. Now, what we're doing, family, we're going to take some questions, but we're going live. So, brother Dave, I need you to press the button because I want to hear people's voice. So before we was reading them through the chat, y'all can join in if you have a question because
On TikTok?
yes.
Yes, hey, on TikTok.
So on TikTok, okay, not YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry. If y'all want to join this party over here, come over to TikTok, okay? But anybody who has a question, we're going to invite you in to join. But make sure it's a good question. Don't come with no crazy question. Make sure it's a question pertaining to what my brother's talking about, the book and all that.
It's all good. We don't even discriminate like that. You know what I mean? Whatever question you got, you can ask. You know what I'm saying? And listen, man. Only question that y'all don't should ask. The only question is the dumb one is one you don't ask me. So go ahead, just ask the question, but be ready to actually engage yourself when you get this curriculum. I'm not giving you something that y'all gonna see as regurgitated. I'm talking about something nobody else is talking about, which is the BELL, the Business Expense Lifestyle Method. That is the art of mastering, recouping your expenses as a business through receipts and Uncle Sam, so that you can live the lifestyle you want to live.
All right, so we have one question from No One. No One, do you want to come live or you want to stay on here? You did put your question, so you know we'll just go with your question. So you put everything in a trust to protect yourself.
I put everything in the trust to protect the assets. As far as protecting myself, there's a law firm that sets up jurisdiction over me. So that is the estate. I have to have a firm that has jurisdiction over me because, as anybody will tell you, when you go to jail or get arrested, it's all about whether they want to challenge jurisdiction. So if I have an entity that's recognized as a state with jurisdiction over me, that means that I can't be lawfully processed. I can be lawfully accepted, which is meaning that they can issue me the bonds and tell me what my charges was, and I can choose to offset them or accept them. But I haven't had a trust to protect myself because the trust don't need to protect me, it needs to protect the assets. I'm a trust guardian, not a trustee. And those are some of the terms that I'm going to be getting you familiar with in the group. See the words I have, the terms I'm using, These are all lawful and legal terms. But see, they haven't told you these terms because these people here have went to school for some of this knowledge. I didn't go to school for the knowledge because the wisdom was granted to me. So I have permission to pass that on to you.
Alright. Excuse me, next question is, do you help?
I help everyone. I help everyone, especially when you look like me. There's nobody that I can't help. I'm still trying to get blood on my hands. So when my creator asks you, did you see my son? I hope you say, yeah, I saw him, but I ain't believe him. I'm sure gonna say, get the fuck around here. We don't know you.
No one says you can't be sued.
No, I can't be sued because I own nothing and control everything in the form of a trust guardian. I can't even be brought to court. I'm not a trustee. I'm a trust guardian, so they are involved with my financial stewardship over trusts and their assets.
All right, let's get some people to join live. Can you have access to that over there?
No, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take some more questions, but if you want to join live, come on with us live and ask your question. Come with us live. Contact info, please. Contact info, please.
Well, you know, GODKISALU.com. God Kisalu.
Tell them they should be
Look
able to
above
see
our
it.
head. If you look above our head, you see it right
In the
there.
middle of that big, beautiful paint in the back. That's where you can go and just read up on any information about me, you know what I'm saying? Or you can just hit Google and hit God Kisalu and then hit images and just scroll down for a couple minutes. You'll see everything belong to me.
TikTok messing with the live for some folks. We miss out a lot of good information you gave out.
I'm sorry about that. That's why I say I want to create a platform where we can come and talk to. Because see, I don't want it censored. When these people tried to put out some information a week ago, they took the whole video down. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm not talking for y'all. I'm talking against the machine. The machine is the one that's going to decipher everything. So if you actually can get with me and we can put our heads together and have like-minded individual conversations and be free action thinking people, managing corporations, we should beat the bank up. There is nothing we should not have as a group of people that look like each other and know how to act on the same frequency. We got somebody to pray for us. We got somebody to pray with us. And then we got situations where we can actually maneuver as a structure. So that's what this bank does. It's not just a bank in that community. There are people who are bank that actually provide finances and resources to those who would really need those. And that's what we have here at United States Federal Finance Group.
All right, there you have it. Now, the next question is, let me see. Do you have to buy the book in order to be added into the community you guys are creating?
Yes, because we had people who were sending us and tell us how to monetize the people. But we ain't OPM. We don't need other people's money. We need to organize, prioritize, and monetize our relationship. So I don't need to beat you in. Of course, I could have charged $1,000 for the class and everybody could come, but I didn't want to do that. If you buy the book, then I know you know what words to use when you know how to talk to me. If you don't have the words in the book, then you won't say a simplification from record. You're going to say, what about my birth bond? What about the secured creditor party? All the shit that I already debunked for you in the book. So if you have the book, it's not only an access goal to where I waive the whole $1,000 fee to be in the community. There is no fee. Just get the book so that when we have conversations, we become like-minded individuals.
All right, and the way you are, everybody teaching status creation, not what you're laying down.
What do you say? It's the way you are. Everybody teaches status creation.
Not what you're laying down.
I think that
it was just a run-on. I understood this question. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everybody is teaching status correction, but I'm telling you the one thing about status correction. There's no status to correct. So I ain't teaching it. It ain't no reason for no status to be corrected. I'm saying I've never messed it up. That's just a process that they pull out of the system that actually look good and sound good to those with itchy ears. If your status was corrected or whatever the hell that should be, why you don't have full faith of the living credit of the bond then?
I got a question. AJ Rock says, does the trust guardian have the fiduciary duties as well?
Yeah, that's his whole responsibility over a bunch of trusts. It's having and keeping the fiduciary trustee responsibility and stewardship. That's your only goal. It's sort of like now you can get into trust accounting and owning multiple tools of trust. So when the credit card come in, it's in the trust. When they buy drawers, the drawers go in another trust. When they buy earrings, the earrings go in the trust. Go to my trust accounting. And this is a system that when it's set up like that, it flows down to each other. You don't have to keep filing, keep recording, keep nothing. Once you do something right one time, it is in the system perpetually. So that's where it comes back to, oh, why you didn't have no mentors, or why you didn't do this? Because I didn't have time. Once I really learned what I had studied, I needed to master it by putting it down and executing on it. And then when that status come in, there's nothing else to say about it, because you have to make sure that your stuff is kept up right.
All right, they can see what they're doing, because I see two up there. I don't know if somebody wants to come in line on front, but we do have another statement. It says, I'm going to incorporate a company that manufactures chicken here in America. That's business.
That'll be a good thing to do. If you're going to incorporate a company that does manufacturing here in the U.S., you know what I'm saying, that's strong. You know, you just have to use that corporation for funding, so that you can use the money in other countries. It's great to start the company here. It's great to do the manufacturing, but it's great to only do those things as a corporation. Because anytime y'all start talking about joint partnership, limited liabilities, and things of that nature, you're not going to get the funding. I'm not here to teach y'all nothing. I'm here to show you we need to go get the funding. Where's the funding at? Where's the money? Where's the finances? Where's that at? All this, oh, you need to join me and be a part of my family and my clan and my tribe. No. I don't know you. And the only way I can trust you is if we make money together. So I think it'd be best if you just buy the book, have a way to communicate with me, and then from there, we can go ahead on, fam. I got y'all. I'm gonna utilize every platform and resource I got to make sure that you win, just like I'm winning. When I get an EIN for a corporation we building in the group, we all gonna do it the same day. Our homework is gonna be the same for the whole 120 days until everybody cash out their $100,000.
All right, now it says that she or he is going to buy the book.
I appreciate it.
Then it says, as for purchasing, I have an individual banker EIN, and is this proper way to make the purchases?
An individual banker's EIN, it ain't the proper way to do purchases. See, what you want to use is the corporation to get these assets and make these purchases. But then it comes to the point of paying for them. That's when you want to know how to use tax forms to make sure Uncle Sam pays the people that are owed, and you get left in your hand with the asset, which you're going to treat like a hot potato and toss it over into the corporation.
Okay. Any more questions, family?
See, I want y'all to learn this.
These are just people that keep saying they just started following. That's
right.
I'm sending them invites. They're not coming.
Yeah, and listen, I just want y'all to learn this.
Okay.
This is gonna be hands down one of the most controversial but history-making community there is, if we all just follow protocol and listen to what I'm saying. We got to stick to the script. We're going against corporations and banking institutions. I'm talking about producing financials for your corporation so that you can go in the bank and win. I'm talking about showing you how to put primary trade lines on your credit so that it already looked like you had an asset and another bank will give it to you again. I'm talking about utilizing group force against the bank. So when we break open the doors, it look like brute force.
All right, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. King God says, King Jah, you're right, I'm in prison. I'm super serious about making some legal money. What can I do in addition to?
Really, fam, I wanna shout out, hold your head up, fam, you'll be all right, you know what I'm saying? And expect you to come on home, and then I can help you facilitate some things to make some money. When I first sold my book, it was 3,500 copies, went to the prison system. And 150 people was able to come home and do themselves what they had to do. So when it comes to you coming home from prison, man, the best thing to do is, because you got the time, fam, you need to get a phone. Put these apps together, and then get with me so I can develop your product, because product outweighs talent, brother. I develop a product with you so that that product can sell, so that you can work on marketing and advertising the product we create until you come home on your millions, brother. Get with me, man.
Okay, all right. Now, what I'm gonna say, you know what? I wouldn't be announcing too much you're in prison because you don't know who's watching.
Right. Listen, this is how y'all want to handle it. They go, their phone confiscation, so she's telling y'all, be careful and everything. But
right.
Hey, if you have people that are actually currently in a situation where they can't do nothing, my book can ship to the prison.
Then you have it.
So you can actually buy the book, and we can ship with mail labels directly to the prison inmate number so they can get it. And then that way we can start working with them. Because see, they got some time to learn what you don't know. So don't give them what you didn't have, just like your children. Give them what you don't know. Because once they learn this and master the white paper, black ink, they'll never be broke again. You got some people that are actually able to sit down, study it with conviction, without a distraction of going to work or having a bill or getting up and going to get freedom of being able to eat. So if you got somebody who actually sitting down and need the information, reach out to us so we can set up a plan when they get the book that actually follows through so that they don't lose.
Got another question?
Sure. All right, we're taking questions from YouTube and TikTok. So YouTube.
Yeah,
okay,
let's go
this-
If
this
you're on
is
YouTube,
YouTube.
put your questions up. You on
YouTube.
TikTok, put your questions up. We're
YouTube
gonna knock
side.
these out unanimously.
You do TikTok and I got YouTube. Okay, Vince Johnson says, I would like to change my EIN from a LLC to an S corp.
No, the EIN, and you can't just change that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to converting the LLC to a corporation, you can keep the same EIN if you ain't messed up with Dun & Bradstreet. That's what I would suggest. But if you want a new blank profile, go ahead and get you another EIN. It's free.
All right, do we have any questions on TikTok? We got some questions over here. Come with your questions.
All right,
Shira says, wow. Why do you say wow, Shira?
It's all good. She probably like, man, this nigga got gems on them, man. You know what I mean? I just want you to know, Queen, you ain't buying draw, messy pants and panties because you need them. You need to buy them because you can't go outside without them. That makes it a business expense. I'm trying to put you in the mindset that if you can grab the smallest mindset of saving the receipt for some panties and draws and mess pants, you will be able to mindset the offsetting of a house of mortgages and some cars.
got another question.
All right, shoot. Question from YouTube, y'all.
Trayvon Brand says, I have had my business for 3 to 4 years and I have failed to file taxes. Do I dissolve the business?
No.
Or is it any way I can pay my taxes, or should I
Really,
change the
fam?
name?
No, fam. Don't dissolve your business. Keep your aid. Don't do these things because of taxes. There's no reason for you to do that. If you haven't filed in 3 years, you're gonna really get up to probably like 9 before you really be looking at some letters coming to your door. Right now, I would say 3 years okay, because what I would do is just to make myself accountable. Don't dissolve your corporation. Take your paperwork that you do have and go to a CPA. Let him get you some numbers together and file it as if you were filing taxes for the last 3 years, so we can see what you owe. Now, if he say you owe something, that's when you come back to me. That's when the EA come in and the enrolled agent come in, and guess what we say? Oh, okay, he said you owe this. No, just actually put it over here so that we can say you're not owed. Put it on the tax forms and you balance the books out with Uncle Sam. See, we don't owe Uncle Sam. We keep books balanced with Uncle Sam. So don't never dissolve your stuff because of you saying you owe taxes, bro. If 3 years of filing taxes, no, go to an accountant and so he can tell you what you owe. And then come to a person like me so I can tell you how to get away with what you already have done.
All right, TikTok. King, he says, wouldn't our bank statements be classified as receipts from our purchases?
They could be, but see, the bank statements ain't what you could take the H&R Block or Uncle Sam. See, we ain't talking about submitting to a lending institution that's funded. We talking about taking on H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt. The only 2 people who are backed by Uncle Sam to even license tax credits back. So your digital stuff, bank statements, that's when you're trying to get a funding, trying to get a house, an asset. I'm talking about getting business expense, lifestyle living, PELL. Business expense, lifestyle living. But you can go on over to www.godkisalu.com, GODKISALU, and read up more about it.
Hey,
All right, there you have it. All right, so Shira says, wow, because you give the book to the prison.
I had to, Queen. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said if you know somebody who's down, there ain't no reason why we shouldn't help them. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never been in prison, but I already know that situation, what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I can cut off that re-entry program from my brothers going back to the system, I'm gonna jump in the way. And so I appreciate you for acknowledging that though.
All right, Danny says, do you know a CPA?
Yeah, we know a few CPAs. You can reach out to you. We'll give you a few CPAs that concern in your city and state. You just want to use their information and structure your stuff. You go into a CPA if you ain't filed just to get the books on the fan. What do I owe? Because that's all the CPA gonna tell you. Oh man, you know you owe this, and then he gonna suggest you need to do this. Don't listen to the suggestion. Find out what you owe, and then come over here so we can tell you what to do with what you owe. Because Uncle Sam is not telling you to pay him no money. He said you made this. Show me your own tax paperwork where it went to. Because right now, I don't see it nowhere. It's not an LLC, a joint venture, a partnership. It ain't nothing. So it says to me, you living off of it. And Uncle Sam, that's all he wants. He don't want you living off of it. You can't tell Uncle Sam that you're not a certified accountant. Uncle Sam, and let me tell you this, he thinks everybody in the United States is an EA himself. He said every day y'all use Google, Amazon, y'all use drafts, ELT, electronic funds transfer, y'all use Swift account management number. Y'all do checks and credit card, debit card, ATM withdrawals and buying things and cryptocurrency transfer. So from the outside looking in, he said these are some financial goddamn wizards. I ain't got to tell them shit. I got to tell them about my 2100 tap on, because that's what they do every day. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Uncle Sam ain't never asked for no money. He said properly put it on the tax form so we can keep the books balanced. Then I ain't got to send police officers at you to get the money in fees and fines and defaults. Let's play the game, people. Stop talking about what the government doing or Trump doing. You don't know no damn Trump. That man business ain't out there. So anybody talking about, oh, we got the Trump blueprint or the rocket. Man, you ain't got nobody blueprint, bro. You ain't got no money to buy them people trust.
All right, there you have it. Sherry says, can I learn IMF strategies to improve credit with the white paper black ink book? I did Google it.
Right. You supposed to see if it's out there like that for real. It's out there like that. I dropped it in 2018 and sold 128,000 copies 3 weeks for my wife. I couldn't go outside no more. I wanted to stay close to the house, so I actually had to do something outside of my norm. I never knew I was going to write no damn books. And then, to be honest with you, I won't never tell nobody I was writing books because that was my peace of mind, my getaway. There's something that I don't know, the world don't know about you. That's your peace. That's what protects you.
Got 3 questions.
Let me get these 3 questions.
All right. Trevor Brand says, how do I add someone to a new LLC when I have when can I convert a new LLC to an S corp?
You can do it anytime in the Secretary of State. There's no time to wait. And then after you convert the entity to an LLC, then you can go back and assign board members or change the name of the people. But do the entity conversion first in your Secretary of State so that can get done in the system. Because if you go in the system and you try to do the entity conversion, the name, and then add board members, it's going to jam up the process. Go in there, do the entity conversion first, then come back, update the information next. What's the next question, Pete?
AJ Rack says, so basically you are using the corporation for the funding to gain the assets such as land, pay all parties involved using the tax forms, and acquiring the asset and transfer it to the estate.
You smart, boy. Somebody out there listening. I check in, making the ass in the community, and I believe like-minded individuals. That means that what I'm putting down is articulable for you to pick up. Yes, that is true. I live through a corporation and let the expenses get paid off through Uncle Sam and take the assets and put the assets into my family trust and slide into the estate for the next 99 years.
Okay.
Yeah, get that man a hero good.
All right. Trayvon Brand says, what's the best way to get a grant or build a business credit?
Through a queen, through a woman. 1 for minority, 2 for doing it in a man-based industry, and then her as a woman. Those are 3 requirements in the grant that if you just don't knock them down, she's gonna jump over all men. So get you a woman and get a specific need-based business for the community to back around, and then you get grant funds like that. Now, if you need help writing grants, we can do that too. But your company got to be synthesized. How we do the structure of grant writing is we study grants that actually already only been approved. So we know what their requirements is. So that's why I say start off by getting you a woman with some color in the skin. You might beat 3 requirements out of the 12 and be ahead of the game.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
You got a question?
Next question. They gotta wait. Hold on, y'all.
No, I just asked you, did you have one?
Yeah, they LLC play on the Secretary of State site. They ask for business name. What do I do next?
They ask for your business name. You're not changing the business name unless you're going to make it look white. You're doing an entity conversion, so you're going to say, hey, I need articles of incorporation instead of filing or articles of organization. So the next thing to do is just select, I want to change my business entity classification on the Secretary of State. That's what you should be searching for.
Okay. Michelangelo says, if you owe the IRS thousands, are there certain tax forms we can use to set the debt off?
Right. I'm glad you said to set the debt off, because that's why it's called offset. You gotta set the debt off by offsetting the debt. And y'all, we're gonna be a bad community. I'm telling y'all are really on it now. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Offsetting the debt. That's how I live, man. Everything got to be paid for, but I only put it on tax forms as a corporation because the corporation got these assets, not me. I can't go out here and buy the $1,800 pair of Louis Vuitton. But the corporation can go out here and get a Neiman Marcus account where I can get 10 pair of Louis Vuitton. Now I look like I got the business. So that's why I say I structure everything, and then when it's time to pay them, I put their EIN, their route number, their account numbers on it, so maybe Marcus get the money on the credit card. I don't need the money. I got you on my feet. Everything is an offset. That's why we trying to tell people about the secure credit party method. It don't work for them because y'all using commercial practices for personal businesses, and that's commingling. And they tell you don't mix the public with the private, so you just did that. Everything is a commercial entity, commercial charge, commercial transaction. That's what the whole UCC is for. That's what the whole 192 or 33 is about. There is no money.
All right, so my question is, if you are spiritual reading, you know, a lot of people on TikTok doing spiritual reading, doing, you know, live reading, you know, they start charging, or the government starts taxing people who use their gift to read. How do you deal with that?
Oh, just like you do with, if you make money selling drugs and gambling. I'm saying I got a tax form for it.
So there's a tax form for that, but
It's a tax form for that. Because see, the only reason I'm taxing you for your spiritual work, y'all, because you ain't classifying your spiritual work as spiritual work through the entity classification program, which is a religious organization.
Right.
You're doing it on your own. So that's a personal problem that he personally get to address. Why not step back and then create the 501c8, a charitable arrangement, and stop doing the 501c3? 501c3s ain't even real. They were only created to disrupt the black community. Anybody ever looked up why 501c3s are started, nonprofit? Just so the black community can disrupt their channel and for grants and money into their system. So don't do that. Just open a real church on paper. Write your bylaws, your D's and Ecclesiastes, and then start putting your spiritual work out there as spiritual work.
Right.
These people can't tax you for that. But they're only taxing you because you haven't learned how to play the game. I'm trying to tell you how to play the game. You gotta influence, manipulate, and have the confidence to pull this off. And you know what confidence is? Audacity. You got to have audacity.
So I'm gonna get audacity because they need to stop trying to tax me for my gifts.
You supposed to take the audacity and say, you know what? I'm gonna open me a religious institution on paper, put my gifts and everything behind a spiritual website, and then I'm gonna get me a bank account, and I'm gonna let my stuff run through there so that he can keep track of what I want him to keep track of, and not none of the stuff I have he would be in possession of.
And I followed his advice and I did it, y'all. I did start my 501c8.
That's right, a charitable remainder trust. You need this religious organization. Why not set up properly, then handle business if you're trying to get tax credits and recoup money back?
Right.
Or not. You gotta be in the game. So to be in the game, you can't just go in there and bring your own things. You gotta go in there and get the game pieces.
All right.
Trey, you got a question?
Go ahead.
Trayvon Brown says, so much great information. Do you do mentorships?
Hey, see, that's what I was just trying to tell you, man. And yeah, I had mentorship. When I first came out, a lot of people tell you my charge was $500,000. I did $500,000, $250,000 up front, $250,000 3 days later when they did their documents on tax recoupments and refunds and stuff like that, fam. I was on the 7th floor of the King Queen Tower down here, running my operation with my wife who had the law firm. So when it came to mentorship and stuff, like I was telling you in the beginning, I never did that. I never had mentorship or classes or webinars or none of that. What you see on the internet, outside of what this young lady has put out for me, it wasn't for me to do because I really had to learn how to make my bank stay and license compliance. So now, 2025, we are finna start doing mentorships, but in the form of mentorship, they're gonna be like 2 or 3 levels, because some people wanna start at the beginning. Some people already got assets in the intermediary place. Then we got some people that don't even have to be talked to. They just be ready to get on some teams with some advancing for people. And we're gonna have those tiers for you and everything. So yes, mentorship will be available in this community class game.
Okay. All right. Adolph, I have to say, he said, teach me. All right. And then,
that's why I say the book purchase is important. I wouldn't ask you for the $500,000. I would tax the football players and entertainers. The only thing that I can do for my people is actually be the example. So now that I'm down here with y'all, there's more than me being an example. Just buy the book so you know how to have a conversation with me. And then you see what I'm doing? I'm telling it to you anyway. You're going to get it for free. You ain't got to pay for it. Just ask the question. So the only dumb question is one you don't ask me.
Exactly. All right, Adolph, you heard that. Teach me. Go to godkisalu.com.
That's right. GODKISALU. That's God space Kisalu. When you type that in Google, I'm sure it'll be the first thing pop up.
All right, y'all. All right, Mr. Keeper says, what do I need to do to get started on the right path for that OG?
just jump in the community, man, with the book, man. Because see, everybody is ready to act on it. I'm not selling you no information. I'm just telling you the truth. So I want everybody involved. Because everybody, y'all can figure out stuff more, things to add to what I got going on. I really compliment from it. There's nothing for me to get out of y'all. Except come to class, let's structure some stuff. I ain't gonna be putting no taxes on you. But I know when you come to this community, I'm waiving the fees for y'all to get a job. I'm waiving $1,500 for everybody to get their credit fixed. I'm gonna pay for everybody to get their credit fixed because I need credit worthy individuals on my team. I'm gonna pay for everybody to go half on you when you complete certifications and courses in my class and stuff like that for your corporations. I'm gonna have my wife on draft up a law firm draft up any trusts, estates. I'm gonna utilize my bank to provide y'all corporation financials. We're gonna keep this money in the house. And all I'm asking you to do to protect myself and have a conversation with me is buy my book, bro. So that I know the words you talking to me, and you ain't talking at the machine trying to implement me into something. But my words is, I'm guaranteed, and I ain't worried about the system buying me.
All right, King said, what about the 508 corporation?
You don't want to do.
So it says corporation sole. Have you heard about that?
Nah, cause I been saying with corporation, you probably talking about a 501c8 acting as a corporation, but it shouldn't be because it's still a religious organization. If it's not gonna be a corporation or SOC corporation, that's what it is. I appreciate the question, but the question is kind of like tricky. Like if you was actually trying to make sure I knew what I knew, I'd say, hell no, man, you can't use no 501c corporation, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because a 501c8 got to be a charitable remainder trust or religious organization. A corporation is a corporation on its own. So if it was a trick question, I passed the test. Look, you know, it ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? You just use the corporation for funding, and then you use the charitable remainder trust to offset all the expenses and stuff like that, King.
All right, there you have it. Now, you the truth, brother, but guess what? Go get that book.
Listen, man, I try to be, man. You know, that my queen used to call me honestly the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't telling no lie, bro. I apologize to all the people I met in 2018 all the way up to now who actually couldn't get the availability of my attention because I wanted it so much. I had to focus on. I was trying to balance two things. You know what I'm saying? Taking care and being there for my wife, and also please the people that we had just now grown to know. I wasn't able to do that in both elements because my devotion was really laid to her. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to apologize to anybody that has been wanting me to mentor them and break them in the situation and help them and stuff. But I appreciate y'all patience though.
All right, there you have it. All right, definitely buying the book. Okay, the real Lou. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Another
for
question.
buying it. All right, go ahead.
Trayvon Brand. Are SBA loans easy to get?
Right.
That's the question.
Right. No, they are. SBA loans, small business loans are get, but what I try to do is I try to stay out of the area with just SBA loan. I want to get a loan that's gonna give it to you for rural continents and areas. So somewhere in the country and stuff, y'all gotta start looking in rural areas, Alabama, Mississippi, places like that, where you can buy the land for the cheap and then leverage it up in the city and where you stay at for a higher dollar amount. Once you get that land in your corporation name, then take that land to the USDA and apply for a zero to close loan and let them build on the land until you get the key. At least you won't have to pay a note. We're going to get in this business to leverage land. So also, y'all going to see us get land. We're going to do it as a group, even if I got to donate the land that I got into you guys so that we can see what to do with it. There's going to be gold acquisition buys. We're going to actually facilitate gold, get it here for you, and show you what we're back behind so that you will know that what we're doing is already guaranteed to win. We're not losing over here, people. I'm not going to say it to you unless I show it to you first.
All right, Asha. All right. So let's go to the next one. If my husband bought the book, will we both be able to attend?
Ooh-wee. Hey, listen, I really appreciate that. Now, here's the thing. Hey, I really want you and your husband to have this separate book. And I'm only tell you this why. Because I've had women that say, we bought it as one, but listen, he needs his own book because I highlighted my parts. I don't want him writing in my book. This is mine. I've had men that just had to buy the book and he let his wife read it and he was like, listen, he had to buy it for her so he can have it. It is suggested, I promise you, not just for a sales tactic, to have your own copy. Because it's going to be notes you're going to take, you're going to want to take. But listen, this is what I do tell people who have a husband and wife team. Come together, learn together. You got one book, I ain't mad at that. But I promise you, this is my guarantee. I'm going to see you again for the rebuy because you're buying another book. So all you have to do is just buy it now. Because I promise you, if you bought it for you, he gonna want his own book
Yep.
to go in the garage and read on. If you bought it for him, you gonna want your own book to go in the bathtub and lay up and read on. I promise you, gonna want your own book. But as an extension, just to show you how it is over here, we don't need anything except for the fellowship of each other. If you are a union that has become one, come learn as one. But I promise you, you gonna buy the book again.
All right, thank you. Hello, you're a beautiful soul as well. Okay, now, they say also ready for this knowledge. Can you speak on student loans?
Only thing I can speak on them is just actually offsetting them to the point of getting rid of them. You know what I'm saying? I really want to know how to do anything else with them because the people that come to me, I have to make the offset better with them. Student loans don't follow you, but there is a chance to offset them because you know why? The school was already paid for. The school already filed a cancellation of debt form for them. The school already doing it, but they had permission to come after you in the form of a promise to pay. So that allows them to put it on your credit until you create a corporation that buy that debt from you. Or a corporation that look like you, sound like you acquired that debt from you. So there's a lot of ways we can get around student loan debt because this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. We don't run from the owing nobody. If we owe student loan, we go and get the tax forms to pay student loan. We don't run from nobody over here. Why y'all run off on the plug and he showed you how to get the money? You went to school, I'm saying on money and don't even want to pay him back. Don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to pay him back. He said don't pay him back. Just put the expense on these tax forms. That way he can keep the books balanced and you can have your education to go make some money some other way.
Okay, all right. All right, so her husband also bought the children's book.
Well, see, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all going to enjoy that. I done had an adult buy the children's book because he wanted to, his son was busting down the knives a little bit quicker than he was. You know what I'm saying? But y'all going to like the children's book. And then with children, please, set up a conference call with me with your children so I can kind of like see what kind of products, see if I can design them a clothing brand or something, see can I do something. Because I love incorporating the children into business so that they can have something to do to assist the parents when it comes to economic and household expenses. We're all in this together. Your children can learn something now without having to go to college. They don't have to go to college to be an auto body mechanic and drop engines when we can show them this right now. Let's go ahead now and instill this into these children so that these children can pick up what an X or Y and Z is plus or Y and equal when we only have ones and numbers. We have to teach our children what we don't know because they are growing up electronically advanced than us.
Yeah.
We can say we didn't have this, but we shouldn't get mad at it. We should respect the evolution of the world, equip our children how to survive and get their money.
All right. So they said, and I guess they came in late, but is there a start date?
July 1st. July 1st, what we're going to do is just start collecting all the emails and everything, putting everybody together, showing you the curriculum. I'm trying to get one study guide ready for you guys to download or have, because I'm going to send that out to you free, because I want you to be able to study what we're doing yourself. We got curriculum for our school. We don't got regurgitated vomit. We got our own things that we need to learn from. We're going to talk about owning nothing, controlling everything. Trusts, taxes, and business expense lifestyle living. Those are the 4 things that we're going to talk about, and those are the 4 things that's going to make us the bank of elite.
All right, there you have it. Now, I think it's O-U-L, however you're pronouncing it. You can go to the website, tell me the website again.
Kisalu.com, www.godkisalu.com.
Okay, it's also above our heads. If you look right up here, you'll see it. Okay?
And he's saying on the start time for the classes on July 1st, we're gonna probably start maybe what that is. I want to say around 3 o'clock. What you want? What's a good time you want to do the nighttime?
Nighttime.
You want to do it? We're gonna say we're gonna do it at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, so to give everybody time to get home, settle in those things.
9 o'clock time. That's at 6, 9:30.
Yeah, you got that's law astrology. I gotta have astrology, numerology, mixed in it with everything. I know law. L. The L stands for W. Law, that's land, airspace, and wealth. Now forget me. You got the L, which stands for land. You gotta have 15 acres or more. And for the government feel like you can live on your own, sovereignty, all that without all that filing stuff. The A is for astrology and numerology. You gotta master numbers in astrology for you even to be able to do this. And the W is the wealth is your health. You can't learn all this and then still be of the world. You gotta come out from amongst the world and be you separate to gain control over this shit.
That's right. So 9 o'clock. Okay.
9 o'clock, July 1st, we will be getting together. We're going to run a get to know each other for the first 21 days. After the 21 days, we're going to start scheduling everybody for the 120-day run. So we're going to get us 100,000 or more.
That's right.
You got a question?
Go ahead.
Michelangelo, do you know what it takes to take a company public, and have you ever taken one public?
I haven't taken one public, but I have been a part of one going public. You know what I'm saying? That's about raising the seed money and the capital, and then get the Security Exchange Commission to come through and validate everything you got going on, King. It's sort of like getting an audit. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get it, you're going to have to get involved with the Security Exchange Commission. I wasn't involved personally in taking one public, but I have been involved as far as the investor side of it. That is something I would like to do, to go public with the corporation one day, so that I can have it to back children, so that they can actually grow up into generational wealth.
All right, there you have it. All right, question over here. Can you help my son start a clothing business?
I sure can, with design, implementation, tech report, anything you need. That's why we say reach out to her. There's nobody that need to be in this community that need to be poor. Poor is a mindset. We're not poor. All we have to do is just get together with each other. And then it don't cost nobody when they get together with each other, because that person might know somebody that do it. I might know somebody that do it. We just haven't gotten together and said what our needs were in a collective environment where we have to worry about nobody watching us. And then as far as the children, let's get them started. Let's get them all clothing brand. These kids, since the night that China said everything fake, we need some new clothes.
Yeah. We might maybe in the near future consider doing maybe a class for the children. How about that?
We can. That's why I say get with your children and bring them in, because I might do that. And then I have children also that has bought the parents who bought the book who talk to me. Even my little girl that I've sort of adopted has the book and financial literacy knowledge in her brain now when she comes with questions and knowing how to talk to us. So definitely get the book with your children and definitely get them in front of us so that we can all get together, because I'm sort of like big uncle. You know what I'm saying? I'm what they call, that's my rich uncle right there. I'm the rich uncle. You know, I had a rich uncle and auntie. I'm the rich uncle. That uncle right there, he rich.
All right, now, Danny, it's 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Right
Now, 8 p.m. is 9 p.m. Eastern time.
That'll be in Atlanta, Georgia time.
Right. What about, okay, we're going to take maybe 2 more questions because we're about to get off of here, but we have another question. What about manufacturing, soap and polish?
No, that's something we need to do. I think that anybody want to do manufacturing need to come to the group also, because that's what we need to get back to. That's how we as a people can take control of what the United States has lost. We're not going to take it back just by attacking the bank. We're going to take it back by attacking the bank and utilizing the funds to begin manufacturing over here. And then once we start manufacturing here, we start splitting assets up with Africa, so that Africa can kind of keep up with us. And then that way we can fund both of them through a bottleneck corporation where we fund each other, one with business, one with money.
All right.
Don't talk like that online. That's scare white folks.
Oh, okay.
What?
Hey, he said that might be a little scary to people who actually we want to invest and they have a different color skin. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's all it is. That's a good
Right.
problem.
That's why I say
It's just our time, y'all.
I want y'all to know that this investment is for real, man. This is a portal. Africa, China, some of these countries are going to be some of the biggest infrastructures in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Our dollar manufactures down there quadruple over in these countries. Who would not tell you that's one of the damn best investments in the world to invest in another country? I'll go over there and put your money into the stabilizing another economy.
That's right.
That's what we have to do. You're going to be a steward of these finances. You have to get out there and take big chances to get big risks so that we can claim big rewards.
That's right.
I'm talking about toppling governments and building infrastructures and municipalities amongst people that look like me, with people that look like me, even though people that don't look like me can participate. I'm not trying to alienate nobody. The only person that's going to be alienated from here is white paper. You know that cracker with the black ink on it? Mm-hmm. Right. My creator ain't created races. He created human beings.
All right, we're going to take the last question for tonight. Any over there on YouTube?
Yeah.
No. So take one from YouTube, then we got one last question from TikTok. Go ahead.
I guess I asked this. Michelangelo, how can we use bonds to get rid of court case?
You don't get rid of, okay, that's the right question. He's not asking the wrong question. He's saying how can you use the bond? You have to use the 4 bonds, the Miller Act bonds, the perseverance bond, the bid bond, the performance bond, and the payment bond. You have to request those 4 things from the DA or the prosecutor. You have to do it in the form of a law firm. That's why I say my wife's law firm was around me to protect me, because you as a person can't request these commercial documents. They're not even going to give them to you. That's what these people be talking about with the temples, or you can go in court and say this and all this. Listen, your ass going to jail. Don't believe that shit, man. You need to get a law firm and tell the law firm to request the Miller Act bonds for you. Go to the law firm and talk like you got authority instead of asking their ass for some help. You got to already know what the game is. You need to read the book and see in the book what I told you how to do to talk to the law firm. So when you go in there to talk to the law firm, you go talking like you already know his business. You need him to do what you need to do, not telling him telling you how he can help you, because he can't help you. There is no help. So what you want to do is have a firm get those 4 bonds. The first appearance, that's why it's called first appearance. Then you got to get that bid bond. That's that time. The performance, where you're going to do it at. Payment, that's that QC. Them 4 bonds are what's going to make you have to not get out of, that will make you not have to go to jail. But there's some things that you're going to need before that. You still need them 15 acres on the estate. See, that's why none of these Moors, anybody can't do this shit for you. They don't have none of them 15 acres. So you might go in there and ask for the Miller Act bonds, but you can't ask. You know why? Because a lawyer supposed to. And then you can't go in there with the lawyer and represent it to you. Because you know why? This shit was supposed to be handled in the judge's chambers with executive notices and shit. Nobody wasn't even supposed to be aware of this commercial term. So all that going to court and all that, man, that ain't how it works. You need to step back, get a law firm to request those bonds on your behalf, and don't represent you, present those bonds back to the court. That's how you fight a court case. But I wrote about it all in my book. Something you can find at www.godkisalu.com. GODKISALU. It ain't but $200, bro.
And it's worth a lot more when I tell y'all. But last question of the night. What if you're being sued by a credit? By a credit agency?
I'll take the cheap way out. I'll go incorporate my goddamn capital letter name into a business, file and trademark it. This is the key. Trademark, copyright that motherfucker. Send it off for that. Pay them a little $800 for that. Once they get it back, then go and file the court for infringement with all the collectors, creditors that's on your credit report and who have called or sent you a letter. Put that in the courthouse and watch how fast you get 10,000 per violation.
That's right, because they always buy them.
Simple. Trademark and incorporate the name that they send it to your name in. Don't do it as a business trying to get no business. No. Trademark and copyright the name so it can't be used in no legal fashion the way it is written. Once you get that, now you got a right to sue anybody who got down coming at you on your path, because see, they never had no business. And if they're a creditor, they don't even have the original, the debt. Yeah, it was sold to them. I done bought debt 4 pennies on the dollar, so the original debt ain't even occupied to them. You know what the original debt is? It had been sold to them with pennies on the dollar down to other companies that couldn't collect from you. So nobody has your debt no more. We just selling each other paperwork. Your responsibility ain't there. Nobody owes you. You don't owe. The company that sold them the debt already filed a 1099 cancellation of the debt. They already put in the extra fees and stuff like that on the 1099 miscellaneous. So the only thing that you have to do right now is just go ahead, live off the debt.
All right.
So what we looking like right now?
All right, so look, that was really the last question. I'm going to squeeze one more.
See y'all, they said I give it to y'all, boy. Ain't gonna be nothing to give away class.
All right. So this is the last thing, y'all. You're welcome, Jessica. Last thing.
What just
Can I go back to recoup damages on a court case?
You can recoup damages from a court case once you get your land actually in control of jurisdiction or control of you. That your estate gonna have to file for those defaults and claims. You can't personally do that because they ain't gonna allow it. They're gonna allow a person to file commercial terms to get commercial remedies in the personal life. That's why the corporation or the state have to file on behalf as a corporation to get those recoupment back against the corporation, which was your capital letter name and not you. So you would have to step back, create the estate like we're talking about, and then go back and recoup the damages and claims against any trespass against your capital letter name that way.
That's all y'all get. That's enough. Y'all gotta get the book.
See, my people, my people over there telling them, man, you get it to them, you ain't have nothing to play that. I'm like, no, man, I got them, man. I got them, man, I got them. I love y'all though, man. I love y'all.
All right, well, we want to thank y'all for tuning in July 1st. Look forward to the class.
Yeah, July 1st, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Tune in, July 1st, 9 p.m. For us to go live. And remember, get on over there to www.godkisalu.com so that you can actually get the materials and just get a reading of what we're finna do, what we're gonna be about, and how you can have your success and growth continually with us. I appreciate y'all.
All right. And who are you again?
God Kisalu.
All right.
Don't make me blush. Don't finna get all camera.
God, that's
right.
right?
All right. I had to make them give me a name that they wouldn't call me. You know what I mean?
Right.
When no name, they weren't gonna call me that, so I had to make it lawful and legal and go and get my name changed that so that I could be addressed as such.
All right. Just like my name is Wunam. All right, y'all, anyway, look, I wasn't supposed to say that, because my name carries very, 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 very powerful weight, okay? I'm over all the spirits in the land.
Well, what do you mean?
Earth.
Well,
All
what
right,
do you mean?
y'all. We're gonna leave y'all here tonight. We'll see y'all on July 1st at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you join us. And thank you for tuning in once again. Have a blessed night.
All right, appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.